My name is Scylla, and today I'm going to be doing a really old Lolita tag because it suddenly dawned on me that if I'm doing videos regarding Lolita, I ought to probably, get that over with. I'm not really sure who started it or where it came from, but I will be looking that up and I'll include it either right here in the video or down below in the box. So let's go ahead and get started. So question one is, how long have you been wearing Lolita? So I've been obsessing over the fashion for 10 plus years now, but it was only 2 years ago that I was able to afford buying it and wearing it on a more daily basis. I say daily, but that's a lot, but wearing it enough. Number two, when did you first come across Lolita? And honestly, I've been trying for years to pinpoint when exactly it was. I don't have an answer for that. I'm assuming that maybe it was from anime or manga or something. Because when I was in high school, it was my junior year, there was a senior in my class. And for one of her projects, it involved her coming into class dressed as Lolita. And this was like 2007 or so. So obviously the dress that she had was what we would now consider old school. But at that point, without even knowing much about the fashion, I easily could pinpoint, and I knew that's a Lolita, and that was completely adorable. Now, for her presentation, what she did was she also had her friend come in who was supposedly dressed as Punk Lolita. And even back then, I still knew that that was in no way Lolita, what her friend was wearing, the Punk Lolita. Not at all. Not at all. For those interested, I think it was like green leggings, a plaid skirt, but like a long plaid skirt. I would consider it more similar to like Visual K or something, but take out the black and just say like a very Irish Visual K. Is that a thing? Yeah, it wasn't Lolita. Not even close. So when she was done, there were the cool guys in the class. I heard them laughing, calling her weirdo and stuff, and it just really made me furious because how dare they? They don't know anything about her. They're judging her based off of clothes that she's wearing for one day. It's not like she even wore that like throughout, her time at school. She wore normal clothes normally every day. I don't know. It's something that still bothers me to this day because obviously, high schoolers, they're very immature and stuff, but it just always baffled me how they can actually be that immature. I don't know. So up until that point, aside from the anime and manga, that was the extent of my exposure to anything Lolita related. But a few months later, for my birthday, one of my friends got me a shoujo beat, if you remember what that was. But yeah, and at this time, I think Kamikaze Girls it had already come out, but it was spreading around, and there was an ad for it, along with an ad right next to it of Wa Lolita. And I realized then, oh my god, like there are actual stores for these dresses. It didn't occur to me to ask the other girl who I went to school with, like where she was getting her clothes from. But all of a sudden it was like, this is more than just, like it's possible for me even maybe to wear this. I don't know, but at that point I just instantly fell so in love, and yeah. But at that point, it was a far off dream. I never even considered wearing it in real life because at that point, all I had been wearing was t-shirt and jeans. Not because I didn't like girly stuff, but because I was in such a depressed state. I didn't want change. I didn't like the idea of change. I wanted to be invisible, which is why I wore the clothes that I did back then. So question number 3 is, what inspired you to wear Lolita? So back then my goal was to stay invisible, but ultimately getting out of that place, I came to embrace my love for everything frilly and feminine. That's just the way that I am. As a child, I have always loved dresses and girly things, and I used to get hated on for it because as a little girl, like elementary school, that age and stuff, I remember that it was uncool to like those things. It was uncool to like the color pink. You know, we had to be cool, we had to fit in with the guys and stuff like that. It just wasn't cool, and to like those things mean that you stood out a little bit, which was something that, not that I mind being alone because I was a loner for most of my school life, but I didn't want to stand out in like a negative way. I wanted to be the loner on my own terms, funny enough. But ultimately, the reason that I think I started loving all this girly stuff was because of the movies that I saw growing up. Things like Interview with the Vampire or Titanic or anything Jane Austen, Gone with the Wind especially. These are some of my all-time favorite movies for the fashion, primarily. Obviously, I love the movies too, but I always love it when, you know, I can look at pretty dresses. But I would watch these movies and I would wish that I could be wearing those clothes. And it doesn't matter from what time period it was. I just wanted to wear all of the clothes. And I would always think to myself, why wasn't I born? Not even that I was born in those time periods, but why can't those fashions from back then have continued to, if not have evolved, which they have evolved into Lolita, but why can't they have just been taken out of those eras and placed into today's world? It never made any sense to me. Why can't we borrow things from the past and just keep on reusing them? I think that it would be a really beautiful thing to see, you know, more variety as far as clothes go, but apparently that's just too weird. So number 4 would be, how did you start and what was your first item? So I guess I actually started technically kind of in 2012. I asked for a sewing kit for my birthday, I think, and I started making my own skirts because that was really the only thing that, you know, as a new beginner, it was the easiest thing for me to make, so I did, and it was okay. You know, it held together. I could wear it functionally. That's really all that mattered. But yeah, aside from wigs, which I bought for cheap, everything else was thrifted or bought off eBay or something. It wasn't until 2018 that I could actually afford to really jump headfirst into the fashion, and the first dress that I bought was Dramatic Rose. Number 5 is, when did you go to your first meetup? So despite having made a video about what to bring in your bag when, you know, going to meetups and stuff, I've still yet to go to a meetup myself. And I guess there's really no excuse for that, but I do have severe anxiety, like severe anxiety. I'm not taking any meds for it, but it is a daily struggle that, you know, I'm constantly having to calm myself down. I don't like new environments and I hate meeting new people. I'm also extremely antisocial. Not in a bad, like, I'm polite to people, but for me, you know, like, I love video games, but I wouldn't go to a meetup group for people who love video games because that's just one single thing that we have in common. I will meet up with friends and stuff because we're friends. So for me, it's kind of the same for Lolita. which is actually stupid though, because the whole point of going to a meetup is to make friends. So it kind of just shoot myself in the foot basically. I know I am, but you know. I also work full-time, and obviously a lot of Lolitas here too. But for me, where I am right now, I am just so tired on the weekends that I just don't feel like doing anything. You know, if I do dress up, you know, I'll go out with my boyfriend and we'll go down the river walk, and yeah, I get to walk around wearing my pretty dresses, and that's enough for me right now. There are times where I would like to have some Lolita buddies, but it's not gonna happen now, and that's okay. Hopefully, definitely in the future though. There have been like 1 or 2 meetups that I really wanted to go to, but real life got in the way, and unfortunately wasn't able to make them. But you know, we'll see. Number 6 is, what is your favorite style and why? So for me, it would be like a mixture of sweet and classic, which is actually very, very popular now. Yeah, it's always been my favorite, even before OTT Suite was taking over. So in a way, I'm really glad that it is as big as it is now, because now I have more opportunities to buy the kinds of clothes that I want to. But I feel like I'm kind of stuck trying to get all those super sweet prints that I've been wanting, just to make up for that whole time period that I missed out on. It's kind of really sad. But yeah, I lean more towards classic, but I can't get rid of that sweet. And I'm not really sure why I'm into that so much, but again, I think it has to do with the movies that I watched growing up. Jane Austen, Gone with the Wind. It seems more normal to me, and it's just how I feel more comfortable. Number 8, what is your favorite dress and why? For me, actually, I don't know. It really depends on my mood. Every dress that I have so far is a favorite of mine, and there are still many more favorites that I want to get. To choose just one would be very difficult. Though there are obviously dresses that I prefer more than others. But it's just really, really hard because they all make me so happy. They're all so different. Number 9 is, what do your friends and family think about it? My mother, when I first showed her or told her about it, she thought it was a costume. She thought it was clownish, because at this time, again, OTT Suite was all the rage, so that's mostly all the information that you could get about it. But I showed her that one video of, it was that one little documentary that featured classic Lolitas, and I showed her there's all this, you know, it's not just like all this clownish, big giant pink wigs and stuff. Yeah, but she always went back to thinking that I'm trying to be someone else. I don't want to dress as me. It's always me putting on a costume playing somebody else. And I had to keep explaining that, no, I don't want to be anyone but me. And this is me. It's just what I like. As of right now, I do think that she likes classic Lolita, like toned down classic Lolita. But sweet, probably not so much. Yeah, I don't really talk to her about it that much. I don't live with her, so she doesn't really have to deal with it, and I don't really have to deal with her and what she thinks about it anymore. But you know, she's never stopped or prevented me or said, no, you can't wear that. So that's good. My little sister, she has no problem with it. She thinks it's really cute. Maybe she might even start wearing it in the future. The rest of my family, I don't involve them with my fashion. I don't really communicate with them that much, so they don't matter. Whatever they would think about it, I really wouldn't care less. But yeah, so the last person would be my boyfriend, who again, I didn't start buying all the clothes until after he and I were together. So I had to be kind of like, hey, these are clothes that I like, by the way. I'm gonna start wearing them for a little bit just to see how it goes. He definitely prefers classic as well. Yeah, but he will go out with me regardless of what I'm wearing. If I'm decked out in sweet, he will still be with me, although definitely he feels less comfortable with me when I'm wearing sweet, but he'll still walk with me. Although, to be honest, when I'm in sweet, I don't feel as comfortable being in crowds. So when I am wearing, you know, super bright colors, usually we'll go somewhere quiet. Though in general, I like going where there are no people because that's just how I am. But yeah, I think I mentioned it in my Lolita wardrobe video that there's one dress especially that he loves. So yeah, aside from, you know, buying too much stuff to the point where I don't really have any room in my closet, he's okay with it. So number 10 is think of something you wouldn't have experienced if you weren't a Lolita. And honestly, the only thing that comes to mind is experiencing judgment for my appearance and what I am wearing. That's actually really sad. Like, really sad. But it's true, because up until that point, yeah, wearing normal clothes, you don't really have to worry about people judging you. And I don't really care whether I'm being judged or not, but it was definitely a new experience. And, you know, the closer the people are to you who are doing the judging, the more it hurts. So that really affected me. But, you know, I love my clothes, so. Number 11 is who is your inspiration? And for me, I don't know. Again, I'm going to reference back to all those movies that I saw growing up because they make me really happy. And every time I watch one of those movies, I just think, can I have that outfit? Can I have that outfit? I want all your clothes, and I want all your clothes, and I want all of your clothes too. Just give them all here. So number 12 is what is something that beginners should think about? And I think that they should, regardless of what anyone says, they should wear, ultimately, in the end, whatever it is that makes them happy. But constructive criticism is not a bad thing, and it shouldn't be taken personally, I think, because fashion is always evolving. We are always changing. It's just the way that it is. Don't be afraid of changing things up. Don't be afraid of going with the times. Don't be afraid of trying new things. Also, wear a petticoat. Just invest in a good petticoat. And the last question is, what are your future plans with Lolita? And my future plans are just to keep doing what I'm doing and wearing what I'm wearing. And that's about it. That's all I really need for now. I have no plans on making my own clothes or becoming a fashion designer and opening up my own brand, or, you know, going to this or that con or all the meetups to ever take place. I just want to wear pretty dresses, and that's about it. And that's about all I really need right now. So, yeah, that's about it. So thanks for watching, if you watched, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.